What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin back on the show. Dustin, good to have you.
Yep, thanks for having me as always.
And we got a special guest. We got Qadry Ismail, former NFL wide receiver. Good to have you on, Qadry.
As always, appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. For those of you that don't know, Qadry is a former 10-year NFL wide receiver for the Vikings, Dolphins, Saints, Ravens, and Colts, and is also a former Super Bowl champion with the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. Qadry, you were drafted by the Vikings in 1993. Do you follow the Vikings? Do you root for them at all? And do you pay attention to what they're doing?
You know, it's interesting. For a while there, was knee deep in it when I had my time up at ESPN and did all the different shows and all the things with, the NFL at large. So obviously it included the Minnesota Vikings. But when I transitioned over to the Ravens and was a part of their broadcast team for a good number of years, I kind of, put my attention there. So I'm kind of on the outside looking in. Just every now and then we'll see them. Obviously, the Vikings and the Ravens played this year, so it was cool to see both purples going against each other, both my former teams. But
Nice.
yeah, that was my my extent of living large with the Minnesota Viking days.
Did you pay attention to any of the Jim Harbaugh news about him possibly going to the Vikings?
Yeah, it was interesting because today Mike McDonald was introduced as a new defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, and the former defensive coordinator for Jim Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines. So John, in his press conference, was like, "Look, if my brother, gets the job, I think he's the best guy for it. He's, an amazing coach," and saying all his praises, which was cool. But I also realized that, he probably was like, well, if he also stays, he's going to stay. And sure enough, he's headed back to Michigan, it seems.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. As a Bears fan, I was hoping he was going to end up in Chicago, but of course, our ownership won't even interview the guy.
It's so weird with the different ownerships, the different personalities of people and what they deem is important to them. Obviously, just looking at what they had as far as their former coach and now you just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's interesting if you guys can right the ship and we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I hope we can develop Fields and reach his maximum potential. Now, what do you think? I mean, this playoffs has been amazing. The divisional round was amazing, maybe the best we've ever seen. And then the conference championship games were just as incredible. Is this the greatest playoffs you can remember or up there with the greatest?
Honestly, I got to say it was by far the most entertaining that I've seen and witnessed. Yeah. It was so competitive, NFC and AFC. There was a lot of compelling, subplots and stories with, Brady and the way he started off the game. I thought, this is interesting how the Rams got their number. And, you just kind of thought, well, they're going to come back and somehow, Matthew Stafford's going to make the critical error. He never did. He tried to, but I think the biggest thing that I recognize was, just how the small margin of details, every little thing matters. And as soon as you let your guard down, that's where a big play can happen on you. And that's what, you just saw across the board, whether it had been the Bills, doing their thing and obviously battling it out with Kansas City and, that back and forth nature, mentioned with Tampa and the Rams and, just how incredible that comeback was, but then the Rams being resilient and, it's just guys making plays on on both sides of the ball. It was really incredible.
Yeah, so much fun to watch. Dustin, go ahead. You got a question?
Yeah, and so in 2000 with the Baltimore Ravens, you guys would start out 5-4 and then go on an 11-game win streak. What clicked mid-season, and what was it like to be a part of a great Ravens team like that?
So let's be real. It had probably the greatest defensive assembly from coaches to players known to man. And that's just the bottom line. They
Yeah.
were as fierce of a competitive group as I've ever seen. Marvin Lewis had, the perfect defensive call. They didn't have to rush and blitz a lot because they just had an up front that was just relentless. And my teammates, they knew their roles, they knew them well, and you had star players stepping up to be star player, role players doing their thing as role players. Our special teams was phenomenal with the way in which Matt Stover was so accurate with kicking, and Kyle Richardson, our punter, who when you look at it, his field positioning was so critical. I don't know, just the bigger picture of seeing our team be resilient and not because there was a stretch there where the defense was just killing it and our offense was struggling. But as a team, we stuck together as a team, and I think that's what put us on that win streak. And obviously we just got so hot that we just kept on rolling through the playoffs and made the plays and put ourselves in position to hoist the Lombardi.
Absolutely. And what was it like playing in the Super Bowl? I mean, can you describe that experience, that
Bruh,
atmosphere?
yes, like it was like none other. You are a little boy dreaming of making the game-winning touchdown and all the things, and just really into it. And I tell you what, the moment I got to the stadium and just saw the atmosphere, it was like, wow, this is what I dreamed about. Now, you do gotta shift gears real quickly and just concentrate totally on you. You don't get caught up in everything. You just stay you stay the course. You stay for what you feel you need to do, and it's so surreal. I think the one time I kind of let my wall down of concentration was when Ray Charles sang America the Beautiful. And I mean, the goosebumps that went up and down my spine, like, wow, that is Ray Charles. I'm on the same field as him. I think it was like at that time, 144 million people worldwide, saw the game. So just
Wow.
all those things. It was it's like yesterday. You remember it like yesterday.
And now, a lot of people like to look at Trent Dilfer and Kerry Collins, the two quarterbacks in that game, and kind of like make fun of them, and they even say about Trent Dilfer, they like to label him like the worst starting quarterback to win a Super Bowl. When you look at the quarterback play today of Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford and Mahomes and Brady, do you think has the quarterback play gotten that much better, or do the rules and the way the game is played today help these quarterbacks put up better numbers and look better?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the rules. It's not that I am discrediting the talent, not that I'm discrediting the way in which guys are preparing themselves to play, and coordinators are putting those guys out there in the best position possible. I'm
Yeah.
not discrediting that, but I will say, back in our day, I mean, the hits that the quarterback would take, you couldn't survive, and I think in today's game, if these quarterbacks were back then, there's no way, for example, Tom Brady is playing into his mid 40s. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be impossible. So yeah, you take that into consideration. But I love the game. I love the way it's evolved. I love the fast pace element of it all. You give a receiver a chance to make a tough catch defenders can't just slam their head into you or jump and lunge themselves at you. They got to really have great technique and see it with their eyes and kind of do some studying. So yeah, a little bit of the physicality of the game is moved out of it, but I so appreciate the game as a whole and the entertaining factor of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Dustin. You got a question?
Yeah, we seen the Bengals shock the Chiefs in a great game in overtime, 27-24, sending Cincinnati to their first Super Bowl since 1988. What do you think of the Cincinnati team, and what do you think of Joe Burrow in just his second year?
Yeah, so they're in the AFC North, and obviously got a chance to see them twice, and both times they whooped up on the Ravens, like just manhandled them. The first time at home was just ridiculous because you had a corner in Marlon Humphreys just get abused by a rookie in Jamar Chase, and Jamar, I think he had well over 200 yards receiving. His run after catch was just that of legend, and they just had their way, and you saw Joe Burrow's toughness then. You saw how he was elusive in the pocket. You weren't going to just tackle him. He had his eyes down the field all the time and just making plays. That guy was phenomenal. So when you saw the second game, obviously the Ravens were dealing with so many injuries and all that, but I think from the first to the second game, there was a lot of maturing that had to go on for Joe Burrow and company. They had to learn how to sustain winning because after the game, the first time around, that was kind of the start of the Ravens' downfall, if you will. And everyone was like, wow, this Bengals team is amazing. They're, certainly the top in the AFC. People were, saying that, but then they go out and they lose to the Jets.
Yeah.
And I think, those type of up and down performances that they had seasoned them to not take it for granted. And I think that's what helped them as far as, having to, host a playoff game and getting it done. And then obviously, doing what they needed to do as far as going to Kansas City and winning. And I think you just tip your cap to them the way they were able to get it done.
And then going to the Rams-Niners game, the Rams come back from down to, 2 scores to win 2017. Speaking of Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp in this game, I sit back and watch these games and I continuously ask, how do these guys get so wide open? And is it as simple as just developing a game plan to double these guys all game? Or is it that these offensive coordinators and the guys like Sean McVay do such a good job of moving the receivers all around the field, lining them up in different spots, it's so hard to double them every play? Is that true?
It's a little bit of everything, I think. But the main thing is just the talent. Cooper Kupp is a phenomenal receiver. And yeah, they put him in great positions, but he still got to make the play. He still has to run the route and understand the concept of, the offense and how he can best put himself in position. So all those factors in my mind shows up, and I think he is premier. And then you add in a now motivated, rejuvenated guy in Odell Beckham, like, bruh, woo.
Yeah.
Both of them, they're just unstoppable. And I think, what the Rams do, yes, McVay has enough of a talented mind to put these guys in the best position possible to highlight their talent.
Absolutely. Good answer on that. Dustin, go ahead with number 8.
Yeah, so have you ever seen a receiver quite like Deebo Samuel? I mean, the guy is amazing. He can play many positions.
Deebo, what we saw in the game, what was it, against the Packers? That was just wow. He was all that and then some. And I like how they used him all year long. I mean, they recognized they needed, a spark. They needed to get, this phenomenal yards after, contact player, the ball. He's a fierce competitor. He's tough. He's not going to be, bullied. He's actually going to bully people. And I think for what Kyle Shanahan did was genius. Put him in a position to succeed and just give him the ball. Like, let's not overcomplicate things. And they didn't. And he was major reason why they were in the position that they were in.
Absolutely. And Super Bowl 56 coming up. I can't wait. Bengals, Rams in LA. It's not the matchup we all anticipated, but it should be a great matchup. What do you think of this game? Do you have a favorite? Who do you think wins, or are you just going to sit back and enjoy the matchup?
Part enjoy it, part get my mind right to look at this AFC North team in the Bengals and root for them. I mean, why not? I think the Rams are a good team. They got talent and all that, but give me this ball club that some are saying is good. Not that there's a fluke by any stretch of imagination, but they're so young, I guess is what I'm saying. Joe Burrow being so young. Obviously, the way in which they were able to defeat on the road Kansas City was just amazing. And so I think when you see the bigger picture of it all, they're seasoned and ready. I believe that they're ready to take on this challenge and declare themselves Super Bowl champions.
Absolutely. I'm rooting for the Bengals as well. Dustin wants to see Stafford get a championship.
Quick question for him, Alex.
Yeah, go ahead. Real quick.
So, what was it like playing with somebody with the passion of Ray Lewis?
Yeah, he was just consistent and intense, but chill, great teammate, incredibly smart, incredibly positive. You just don't find guys like that, that just so in just well-rounded with everything. You're in the locker room, you just see how he oozes with enthusiasm and leadership skills on the field. He demands excellence. Therefore, a high tide raises all ships. Other guys around him, just feed off of his positive energy. It's all that. I really appreciate who he was as a teammate for sure.
Nice, great stuff. Do you have anything you want to promote?
Well, I will say this, because of obviously the way the pandemic has happened and stuff like that. I do sports performance training and also just training in general for people. And if in fact someone wants to learn how to move better and move free of pain, then they can easily get a hold of me via Twitter. I am Qadry Ismail. That's my Twitter handle. I am Qadry Ismail. And you can DM me and we can set up a virtual assessment and then get you started on feeling better. I am Qadry Ismail. DM a brother and we will make it happen.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much for taking some time to come on the show. It was awesome to talk some football with you. Yeah,
heck yeah, man. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to just an amazing chance and opportunity to look at what's going to be an exciting Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. And have a great week. And let's all enjoy the Super Bowl. And thanks again, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a great week, guys. Peace out.